Welcome to the Miami Heat Zone podcast. We're pushing to 6,000 subscribers. Make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button. And thank you for all the support today. We have Daryl from the Herdsman of Sheep. Daryl, what is going on with this Miami Heat team? We've had a third quarter, quote unquote, for the past 3 seasons, blowing leads. We struggle to score. What is going on with this Miami Heat team?
I mean, there's a lot of things going on. They're learning a new team, obviously. When you lose a Jimmy Butler, you do lose something. We're not going to sit here and make this up like you're not losing something. Am I glad he's gone? Yes, 100%. And they have to figure out how they're going to operate as a team. But, when you lose that guy, there's other things that you lose. You don't, different players have to take different accountability. Different roles change for different players. But, for me, the most important thing is, the leaders have to be the leaders. And, when you don't have a 1A guy anymore, because Bam and Tyler are not 1A guys, in my opinion, when you have, quote unquote, the stature of coach that this team supposedly has, he has to be the leader. He can't be making mistakes. He can't be doing the stuff he's doing. And he is just, for the better part of the last 2 years at least, he is, in my eyes, one of the worst coaches in the league. There's no way around it. Like, you can't make the amount of mistakes this guy makes on a night-to-night basis and still be considered one of the best coaches. You just can't. Because the mistakes he's making is high school shit. Like, just ridiculous. Doesn't know how to call timeouts, doesn't call challenges, holds rotations too long, plays the wrong rotations, doesn't know how to set up. I mean, like, bro, we're talking about trivial, basic crap. And it's just, and when you don't have a 1A guy, now you're going to turn to that guy because you're supposed to be special. You're supposed to be the guy who puts your team over the top. You're the advantage to when two teams come together. You're like, okay, I got this coach, you got that coach. My guy is much superior, and he's being outcoached every game.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things going on. I mean, obviously, like this team, we have no 1A, and I think that's one of the glaring holes on this roster. Now that Jimmy Butler's gone, even though, he was always in and out of the lineup and very inconsistent, we always counted on Jimmy Butler to at least be that 1A. And especially how, because Bam, he did call out the coach and saying that, we have to all be on the same page. But at the same time, Bam and Tyler, they have to take most of the blame as well. They're the max guys. They're the all-stars. They're the ones that need to lead this team now that Jimmy is gone. Even though I agree with you, they are not 1As. I would say that they're Bs or Cs. And that's one of the major problems with this Miami Heat roster. And I honestly think that's one of the reasons why we weren't able to always get over the hump, because Tyler, I mean, yes, he's battled with injuries, but as you can see, once a defense really locks in on him, and takes away some of the stuff that he likes to do, he struggles. I know that's your boy, but, and the same thing with Bam. Bam is not really being aggressive. I mean, he is turning around his game now, but he's been very inconsistent. He's been very passive. And it's like we have to honestly start with those two guys. And we obviously know that the roster is not good enough. However, it's like what you said. Eric Spoelstra is not necessarily playing the right guys, putting in the right guys at the right time. All these different things that come down to the structure of the team, Eric Spoelstra has definitely struggled with. And I don't understand why. Like guys like Burks. Why is Burks not playing more? He's a veteran. He's the one that's supposed to help stabilize a young team like this.
Listen, I got into it last night. Kind of happy with Bam's comments today. I think people, when they look at this team, I take so much shit for Tyler. Like, it's crazy to me. I think that fans, when they look at players on this team, especially a lot of like long, early fans, guys have only been around for, 10 years, whatever. They look at players and they hold them to this, like, you're supposed to be D Wade or you're supposed to be LeBron. Like, The reality is, everybody wants to. Oh, before he was a screen merchant, and he can't do this, he can't do that. Like, bro, there's literally like a handful of guys in this league, like what, maybe 7, something like that are like true 1As. It doesn't matter the defense, blah blah blah, whatever. Like, I had guys arguing about last night. It's like, oh, you couldn't get around Lou Dort. Well, you know what? There's a lot of freaking people who can't get around Lou Dort. He's built like a fucking linebacker.
Most people can't get around Lou Dort
Exactly.
so easily. Not like that, bro.
And he's just one guy. That whole team is full of it. Shea's good. Casey Wallace is good. Freaking Caruso's good. Like, bro, they've got layers and layers of defense. So this crap about, like, people just want to pick on, or they want to go after Tyler. I'm not telling you that Tyler doesn't have to be better. But the point I'm trying to make is that when you don't have one of those 7 guys that we're talking about, you have to scheme for players. It's just that simple, bro. Like, if any one team really wants to take a player out, they can take a player out, bro. It doesn't matter who the guy is, unless you're one of those ones. Is that a fault on Tyler? Is that a fault on Bam? We can go down to a handful of other guys you can take out. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, look at Cleveland. Donovan Mitchell he's pretty special. But he's got an all-star next to him. You think it's that hard to take out Darius Garland if you really want to take him out of the game? No. But are you saying, oh, he's not a good player, he's not an all-star? Of course you're not. Okay, he's been a 2-time all-star. But you can take Darius Garland out of the game if you want. It's just I don't know where they go with it, bro. Like, I know it sounds like I'm picking on Spo, and he deserves to be picked on, bro. Like, you just have to be better, man. Like, there's just simple things that go on in a game, bro. And it's like, when I watch him on the sidelines, it's like, I don't even know what he's doing. He just sits there with his hands crossed, and he's just like, what am I cooking up? Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't see anything going on. I don't see him talking to the players, pulling them to the side, like, oh, let's look for this. I don't see any of that, bro. Like,
yeah, but this also comes down to roster construction, because think about it. We need this is all because, well, not all of it, but most of it is because we do not have a playmaking point guard. We don't have anyone that can slow the game down. We don't.
Yeah, but bro,
now,
like,
listen,
what does
I know you're
going
to say
last night, but let me ask you, what does it have to do with last night?
Okay, not every game, but all I'm saying is that you need a point guard. You need a floor general who's going to get guys involved, that knows to slow the game down. Yo, hey, Bam, go into your right spots, because once again, this starts with me. It always starts with the leaders of this team, Bam and Tyler. They're saying the same thing every night. Oh, well, we got to slow the game down. So how come none of you guys are getting to the free throw line? Oh, well, we need to be more aggressive. Well, how come you guys aren't being more aggressive? You know what I'm saying? There's just a lot of things that absolutely Eric Spoelstra is not putting this team in the best position to win every night based off who he's playing and how long they're playing. Like Terry Rozier, he should have been benched a long time ago. Jaime should be benched a long time ago. Those guys should not see the floor right now. Right now, who needs to see the floor is Burks and some of the other role players. But this all starts with me, with the 2 guys that are making the max dollars now that he's gone. Now that Jimmy's gone, it all falls on Bam and Tyler to help lead this team to wins. Now, obviously, Eric Spoelstra, like I said before, he's going to structure the team and structure, the sets. But this all starts with the players for me. To go almost, half the quarter and score 0 points, I just think that's wild. That is wild to me. And I know a lot of people, they love Davion, they love Wiggins, and they might like Kyle, but we're going to have to honestly give him a little bit more time. It's only been, 2 games? So they're going to have to get more time to honestly come together as a group to win games, because we still don't have that 1A. We don't have a guy where,
why does it – why do – this is the part I can't stand, bro. Why does it take that much time?
I'm only talking about with Davion and Wiggins.
Okay.
But I agree with you, because they're NBA players.
Is Davion essentially Drew Smith?
Yes, he is. Okay, he is a Drew Smith.
You've had Drew Smith in your system for 3 fucking years. You've decided to play him this year. You could literally go put on Drew Smith tapes if you're the coach and say, I'm going to play him just like I played that guy. Not that fucking hard. Like, these excuses that are made for this guy are fucking ridiculous.
Not for Eric Spoelstra. I'm talking about for the team chemistry on the court. I'm talking about the guys actually playing. You see what I'm saying? I'm
But Martel, but
Spoelstra's a whole
Martel,
nother conversation with that.
my point is that you look at last night's game, right? Eric Spoelstra is like a robot. He does the same shit all the time, and that to me, right there, is the crux of all of it.
That's true.
Are you trying to win games, or are you trying to do it your way? Because at the end of the day, the team is average right now, right? So when you know that, be smart about it. Like, I've got to get certain games. Like, this whole, like, guys have to come out at a certain time. They have to say the same minutes. It's the same. Like, bro, be a creature of the moment, bro. You got up 23 fucking points, and everybody's going to go to the fourth quarter. See, like, you just brought it up. Everybody's going to go to the fourth quarter. This game was lost with 3 minutes to go left in the second quarter. That's when this game was lost. You were up 23 points. This is me, okay? If I'm playing coach, I'm immediately taking a timeout. I don't give a fuck whether I got the momentum or not. You know what I got? I got 23 fucking points. I'm going to pull the guys together. I'm going to look at my bench. I'm going to say, how do I make it to halftime with this lead, or at least up 17, 18, something like that? Bro, there's only like 8 possessions total in the goddamn 3 minutes left. They get half, you get half. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that hard. I'm going to bring the team together. I'm going to put the right guys on the floor in that moment. I'm going to say, hey, listen, it's not like we're not trying to score, but we're going to really concentrate on protecting this lead for right now. And what do you have him doing? He's over there running down the court, fucking keep it going, keep it going. Like, they're a running team. The last thing you want to do is get into a run fest with them right at the end of the quarter when you know they're going to try to make a push right before halftime. That's when you pull Tyler. That's when you pull Bam, and you're like, listen, bro, walk this bitch up the court, just past half court at 10 seconds, run through the whole shot clock, take it down to 5 seconds, try to get a good shot. We're going to play D. Like, you have to be the creature of the moment and understand what's going on. I thought he did an amazing job last night for the first 21 minutes. I tweeted about it. His first 3 rotations were excellent. I would not have started Mitchell. I understood it, but it was because I was afraid of the second lineup. He actually surprised me. He still kept in the 3 defenders. That's been Spo's thing. He needs 3 defenders in his defense at all times to play his defense. He did that in the first 3 rotations. What happened after that? Then he went and leaned offense. He went away from the defense. He brought in Pella, which I don't even understand why Pella was playing. There was no reason for Pella to play last night. Stay with the same 3 rotations you had and ride this out. You have the lead and get the win. But no, here we go again. He wants to come in with something. He wants to change the lineup. He doesn't know how to make adjustments on adjustments anymore. Like, and I don't know what the fuck that is. Like, if a defense shows you an adjustment, you have to have a plan for that adjustment. And he doesn't, because the man is so bad at offense. I truly just don't think he knows. I don't think he knows how to. I don't think he understands how to get Tyler open. I don't think he understands how to get certain guys, their looks.
Which that also needs to be put on the Miami Heat organization, because we've been dealing with this for 3 years. Once again, there's 3 things. We can't score, the third quarter, and then at the end of the day, the bad lineups. I don't understand why we can't score in 2025. That also comes down to roster construction. But then it's like what you said. I don't think that Eric's supposed to, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's okay that he's not the best offensive minded coach. We've seen Eric Spoelstra with less talent than this work wonders up and down the court, and we have to give him credit for that. Because, like I said, when you're doing it with undrafted guys, and when you look across all these other teams, they have stacked up all stars and stacked up all NBA and all this stuff. I don't understand why they haven't put in this offensive assistant coach to help Eric Spoelstra. Maybe he's not listening. Who knows? But obviously, when you have guys like Bam Adebayo who come out and have to say, even the coaches need to be held accountable, which I agree. But you can't also come out there and only get you 8 points, 9 points, 12 points. You know what I'm saying? Like, And it's not
But
all
let
due
me
to
ask you this:
all-star.
why can't a coach? We'll use the word washed. Everybody likes to use this player's washed. Why
I wouldn't say
why
he's
can't a coach be washed?
I wouldn't go as far as to say he's washed. But once again, why hasn't there been an offensive minded person added to this coaching staff? I don't really know all the other guys on the bench in terms of Karan Butler and Quinn and all that in terms of offense, but I don't understand why. So, prime example, they try to go offense this year with the whole 5-out offense. Nobody on this Miami Heat team can do that outside of Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson. Even when we had Jimmy Butler, Jimmy and Bam are not good 3-point shooters. So, how on earth? I think that the season went left when we went to this 5-out offense. That's why Jimmy Butler was slightly right. He just said it in a different way and the wrong way. He said his role changed. I would say his role changed. They shifted the offense in terms of now we're running through the young guys a little bit more, and it's more 3-point centric. But we don't have the role. We don't have a team like the Boston Celtics. We don't have a team, like the OKC Thunder that's running gun 3-point shooting. We don't have that. Bam is not a good 3-point shooter. Jaime, Jovic, he's inconsistent. So yeah, we have 3-point shooters, but we cannot shoot threes at a high level like the Boston Celtics to where, okay, we know that guess what? Every shot we put in is almost going to go in, and we can play that 5-out offense. I
So
mean,
then why can't you? So then why can't you use that?
what do you mean?
If you're saying that this coach sat down over the offseason and said, hey, this is what we're going to do. I'm looking at my lineup. I'm looking at my guys. And we as fans and logical people of basketball can look at it and say, where did you come up with that? Like, how did that come about that you decided that's a smart decision?
Only God knows.
Well, that's my point. They sit here, and I think that's exactly what Bam said. You listen. People are going to get on the players. I understand. They're the ones making the money. But you know what? Who's also making the money? That motherfucker's making the money too. He's making $20 million a year, bro. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, you looked at that lineup and you said, "This is what I'm going to do." Bro, he just doesn't to me, bro. Like, when I look at him, listen, bro. People have problems in their lives, and this guy went through a messy divorce, and I don't know, bro. Like, he just doesn't look like he has the same passion, bro. Like, is he putting all the work in that he used to put in? Is he watching all the tape? Is he doing all that stuff? He just looks like he's going through the motions. I mean, when you're missing this basic of details, I mean, Bam said it. They took us out. We're up 10. Brought us back in. We're down 3. The game was over, bro. The game was done. It was over. They just went on a 24 run, and he did nothing about it. 24 points. He did nothing. And you're going to come after the players for that? When you had in Pella, Larson, Burks, like, you had this crap lineup that you decided to play. Like, I don't know, man. Dude, it's so frustrating, bro, because I'm just at the point that I don't know how you evaluate your team. I don't know how you evaluate the players when you absolutely know that the guys aren't put in the right spots. Like, you're telling me you couldn't figure out a way to get Tyler Hero a 3-point shot in the first fucking half?
No, but not even that too. Like with the Boston Celtics game, you're telling me that Haywood Highsmith, you pay him to be this great perimeter defender, and he doesn't play the whole game, and you're playing the Boston Celtics. I don't understand why Haywood Highsmith. And to be honest, last game that was a game where you could really see all the defensive guys together: Davion, Haywood, Bam, Wiggins. Where that's really what they should have been riding with, because we obviously know that we can't always compete with guys offensively, especially one-on-one ISO. You got to throw so you have to make your defense carry you, and I thought that's something that we've been doing for years. And I just feel like this season we've gotten away from the defense really carrying us, especially when we have better defensive pieces now. Wiggins.
Martel, let me ask you a question. I'm going to flip it to you because I know people are going to come down on me. It's fine. I don't care. When somebody asks you to describe your coach, like, everybody has tendencies, everybody has traits, this and that. When they say, what do you think? What is he best at? What is he known for? Like, what do you say?
Stubbornness and defense.
That sounds like the best coach in the league. Like, Those are traits that you want to say that I'm, like, bro, like I get these people that come up with the 30 and 11 shit all the time, but you know how long ago 30 11, 10 years ago.
And that's my thing. I mean, like I said, I think he's been a great coach. I just think that obviously the season has been plundered due to Jimmy Butler and that whole scenario because obviously you can't win games when you're a max player. There's no team right now that's going to win consistently and win all these games. And the fact that we've even been close to win some of these games and you lose your max player mid-season, that alone is a huge accomplishment. But it's like what you said, we're about right now. We want to win games. Obviously, we're not a championship team, but we just don't want to see, huge leads being blown in the fourth quarter.
I just don't want to see games being blown.
Yeah, games being blown.
He's not trying to win games. Like the stuff, when you make some of the moves that he makes, it doesn't seem like it's about winning. It seems like it's about, people call him the mad scientist. Bro, we're 50 fucking games in the season, bro. And you're still toying with wanting to see what works?
And that is true. Like a lot of, they're not looking at it from that perspective. We've pretty much had the same team. Obviously, Jimmy Butler's not here, but we've obviously had the same team pretty much for the past few seasons, and we're having the same issues every single season. So we can't even blame Jimmy Butler because this team can't score, which that also comes down to roster construction. I would say about 80% of it, maybe 70% is on the coach and the rest on the team. Because at the end of the day, like Terry Rozier, obviously we didn't think Terry Rozier was this all-star. But the fact that he came out here and he can't give you anything, nobody ever thought that. I think that him not playing well was a huge blow. Jaime Jaquez Jr., obviously he's not this incredible three-point sniper, but for him to give you nothing on the court, absolutely just nothing on the court.
Everybody who comes here is a middling offensive player when they're in this team. Spo believes in that, what I call the YMCA offense, bro. Everybody gets 10 points, 12 points. It's another thing I said last night, bro. When you watch the good teams, bro, and I'm not telling you Tyler, SGA, don't get into that shit. But the reality is he's one of your two best players. When you watch the good teams and they get leads, everything goes through your best players. Because at the end of the day, you want that guy taking the shot over anybody else. Win or lose. Why? Because the probability is, because he's a better player, that he has a better chance of making the shot. That's just, it doesn't matter what you think of the player, right? We can say that Tyler Hero is better than Duncan Robinson. We can say that Tyler Hero is better than any one of the other people that are going to shoot the ball. We're going to say that Bam is a better player than the rookie and the other guys that are playing next to him. When you get the lead, you slow the game down, and you get your best players the ball. Tyler took 12 shots yesterday. There's no world, there's no team that you're going to go look at any stat line and see that your best players are taking 12 shots. But he doesn't do it to win the game. And listen, I've said it a million times. He's blown like 10 games this year.
Yeah, honestly.
Are we having this conversation if they're 35 and 15?
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's a very different conversation if we're 35 and 15.
Yeah, I mean, so as we wrap up, there's just like a lot of holes on this team. Obviously, we lost a max player, which is huge. There is no team, like I said, if they lose their max player, they're going to be in somewhat of a shambles too. But we're dealing with the same issues that we've been dealing with even when we had Jimmy Butler. We can't score, blowing leads. And then now on top of that, of course, roster construction. And then now you have Spo, which he's honestly made a lot of pivotal mistakes throughout the game that honestly costed us the actual game itself. But before we close, please let the people know where they can find you.
I don't know. I think I need to stay off Twitter for a little while, to be honest. But you can find me at the Herdman of Sheep on Twitter, and I'm going to slow it down for a little while because I'm just tired of all the yelling.
Guys, so make sure that you guys go to his Twitter. Make sure that you guys follow him. Thank you guys for all the support. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. We're pushing to 6,000 subscribers, and thank you guys for all the support.